The Belfast Youth Development Study started in the year 2000 and has been running ever since. It is one of the largest studies in the UK to look at young people's experience of growing up, their family life, their time in school and their friendship. We also asked young people about any experience they might have had with alcohol and drugs, as well as the problems that sometimes result from using various substances. The study asked a group of approximately 5,000 young people about their journey from youth into adulthood. This journey can be a difficult time. Young people don't just learn about different subjects in school. They learn about family, about becoming independent, getting a job, and about starting friendships and relationships. People also learn about dealing with problems at home and in school, and looking after their mental and physical health. They also face a lot of risks: violence, problematic relationships with drug and alcohol, and issues like depression, self-harm, and getting in trouble with the police. Ours was an unusual study because it found out so much about young people's lives. Far from just focusing on alcohol and drugs, we wanted to understand the kind of events and relationships which influence different individual young people to think and act differently. For example, we asked each young person about their family or household, how many brothers or sisters they had, whether their mum and dad both still lived with them, or if they'd split up or met new partners, and about how close they felt to their parents, and if their parents set a lot of rules for them. We invited young people to describe where they lived, how much they liked their neighbourhood, and whether there was much antisocial behaviour and crime where they lived. We included questions about what type of school they went to, how important they thought getting an education was, and how much they liked their teachers. We also asked young people who their friends were, how much they trusted their friends, and what they did together when their friends met up. Other questions included how well they were doing in school, what sports or other things they did with their free time, and questions about their mental health and things that worried them. From the answers young people gave us, we found that the decision to drink alcohol is more often influenced by these factors than by the type of background or neighbourhood a young person came from. We also found young people were more likely to have problems surrounding drugs and alcohol if they had been excluded from school, had poor family relationships, or had other difficult times when growing up. These problems can become worse when young people don't have support from schools, friends, or their community to help protect them from these risks. The difficulties young people face is a big issue, but there aren't many resources available to help them to cope. This study is trying to help tip the balance, to understand better what society can do to make sure young people grow up happy, healthy, and safe. We've been innovating to push the boundaries of science in gathering information and trying new ways to understand how the world works for young people. We've started building a phone app that can help us to learn even more about young people's social networks and friendships, both online in the digital world and offline. After over 10 years of collecting information and analysing data, we're still starting new studies looking at different aspects of growing up and drug use. We're looking at ways to link data with other systems so we can learn about things like the healthcare that people need as they grow older. And we're going to continue looking at what happens as people keep growing up. After all, the 11-year-old children who started in our study are now adults, some with children of their own. To everyone who took part in the Belfast Youth Development Study, we cannot thank you enough. You've taught us so much about growing up, the risks young people face, and helped us understand what everyone can do to help. And this study will help us to keep on learning. We will always be grateful for your time and honesty.